Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Rex.
I'm Daniel.
And is this Maker's freaking Mark?
I don't have any trash again.
Well, Maker's Mark.
Patrick Larkin sent these.
Patrick Larkin, you magnificent
Bastard. By the way, Patrick, Rex still hasn't finished all the cigars you sent him, but I have. But I smoke daily. Rex smokes once every 2 weeks. Or less.
Week to 2 weeks. Week to 2 weeks.
Okay, so, remember we talked about this before, the Oak and Stave collection?
Yeah, vaguely.
Or Oak Stave selection. This is really... I'm just going to go on record.
Yeah.
As I am slowly becoming a fanboy for Maker's Mark.
What?
I know.
What?
Hear me out.
All right.
It's not my favorite bourbon.
Okay.
But if you read their history of their brand.
Sure.
And you come all the way into the things that are happening today.
Sure.
Every new generation, from the very first one who invented it.
Right.
Until now, every generation of the family has done something truly new that is actually interesting and worth doing. As opposed to just only... doing what Dad did. The temptation in all these brands is like, whoa. Oh, I caught it between the boots.
Should.
That was nice.
Did you ever see The Price is Right, where they did Plinko? Where they dropped the thing and it would bounce across.
That's really what it looked like just now.
It was like your hip, my hand, your thigh, the barrel,
the boots,
the knee, the boots, then the floor.
So this is... Rob Samuels, the grandson of Bill Samuels, the founder.
Okay.
Right? And what they were doing is, remember Maker's 46, where they're doing some weird stave finishes on Makers?
Sure.
They decided to take that and go, you know what, we can do private releases.
Okay.
Where we do finishing barrels for like 9 months.
Right.
And we customize what staves go into the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of just all being oak, all being European, or all being the same char, it's like, no. We have options.
Yeah.
They could be baked American Pure 2 staves, seared French staves, Maker's 46 staves, toasted French mocha, toasted French spice.
That was seared French cuvee.
Yeah, right? So what you do is a brand reaches out to them and says, I want you to take Maker's and finish it in these combinations of staves.
Yeah.
3 of this one, 1, 3, and so on, right?
And this one has...
And it always adds up to 10.
2 baked American, 1 seared French cuvee, 4 Maker's 46, 1 roasted French mocha, 2 toasted French spice.
Right?
Yeah.
This is fun.
All right.
Like, this is exploration, and this is brand engagement.
Yeah.
This is, at every level, good marketing, good whiskey making, and fun, cutting edge, cool shit.
Sure.
From a main brand.
Yeah.
Who has only things to lose by getting risky.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's cool as shit. So these were selected by Town and Country, sent us by Patrick Larkin. And this one's called Campfire, the one in front of this bottle.
Yeah.
This one's called Lakeside.
Okay.
And so there are 2 different combinations of staves in the finishing program. And that's pretty damn cool, I think. Just on the nose, what's your favorite?
So on the nose, they are very, very close. Let there be no mistake. These are within...
Makers.
This is a Makers, and there's, at most a 10% variation. This one, though, a little bit more intense and rich.
And this one's a little more like coffee candy. Like a molassesy coffee candy.
So I'm getting more on the nose out of the Lakeshore.
Yeah, this one's more hard candy nose.
Right.
Go back and look for hard candy in that second glass.
Yeah, right on.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. And so, again...
So, from the nose, I feel like I'm going to like this one better. It's subtle.
It's very subtle, but it's
cool as shit.
It's interesting that it's there. Interesting.
And what's the proof on these?
Yeah. It's going to be fairly high, yeah.
Oh, they're both 54.8.
So they keep it the same proof, so you're just getting the nose difference.
Yeah. Try both of them side by side, and then I'll try both of them side by side. Rob Samuels and Jane Bowie are the ones who came up with this program. Jane Bowie is the director of Private Select and the Diplomat program. I like that name.
Actually, more different on the taste.
Okay.
And I really like this Lakeshore. Wow.
See, just from the name, I thought I was going to like Campfire more.
I know, but the Lakeshore... So the Campfire, we'll start with Campfire. That is a little bit more classic Makers, some barrel bitiness.
It is barrel bitey. I get what they mean. But that one is so much more subtle.
Subtle and complex.
Yeah, this one totally comes out ahead.
Yeah.
That Lakeshore, I don't know if they chose that finish or if they simply tasted the barrels and then picked that finish.
Mm-hmm.
But that is
I'm saying
Lovely.
this is probably up to 15% difference on the taste.
Yeah.
Man, I'm being generous to say 10% on the nose. Probably less than 10% on the nose.
But at least 15 on the taste.
Yeah. And it's just more velvety and rounded and just rich and smooth while still being intensely cask strength. It doesn't get barrel bitter bitey like the Campfire. This feels like it's just a few things just wrapping and evolving. And
yeah, that Lakeshore is maybe the best makers that I've tried.
I think so too. And
wow.
It's frustrating that it's not like, I'll have the Lakeshore
all the time. Yeah, wow. Okay, cool. Let's keep those in front of those bottles for now.
Sam Wilkes Green. So I work in a bar, and last night I had the horrible realization that I talk about whiskey with customers to the point of being overwhelming and intimidating.
Yeah.
When I talk about it, I talk a little about the journey and the flavors, and I see their eyes glass slightly. Yeah, nobody asked you to talk about it. That's the problem. Now, what techniques do other bar bastards use to try and understand what a customer wants and try to turn them in the right directions without being overwhelming?
Now, I want to go on record as two things, and then we're going to bastard in Terry.
Yeah.
Two things. One, kudos to Sam for that self-realization and self-awareness.
Yeah, because
that's rare.
No, I'm thinking back to bartender experiences that I've had. If you're not getting ignored because they're busy, then it's like, dude, I just want to walk away with my drink, but
you're just going on and on.
If I want a second drink, I don't want this to be weird. So
I'm just gonna nod a lot. Yeah. So kudos to you for self-awareness, because that shows that's great. That makes you magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, second, all of the comments in Facebook that had this were unbelievably good advice.
Okay.
Didn't see any weak links.
All right.
What I'm going to add to this conversation, and it may have already been brought up since I put this in the comments, is what I have found is the best way to communicate to whiskey people that you're not sure what level they want to nerd out on something is only ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever give speeches. Only ask questions. Your only job is to ask questions.
Yep.
So the first thing first is, if you're not sure, is what do you drink?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't really drink a lot of whiskey. What do you drink when you're like, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, wine. Okay, good. What kind of wine?
Mm-hmm.
And just keep asking questions, and then you finish with, I want you to try this and tell me what you think.
Right.
And then that's the last thing that you say. If they say they like it, you keep going.
Yeah.
And end that, right? Yeah. And then when it comes, after you've gotten them drinking something good, just keep asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you get them talking about your whiskey journey, and then you just add slight guidance along the way.
To the extent that they're engaged with the question and they're really trying to formulate and communicate their best answer, then you can keep going with the questions. You want to interrogate.
Well, as a social, which I've studied,
the moment where somebody
now,
is like, they're just kind of like, it's well, whatever, and they're not really, in it.
About every 30 seconds or so in a conversation like this, I will make a statement that could be the end of a conversation if they wanted it to be.
Sure.
Right? So I'll make a statement and full stop, and I'll stop talking. And that gives them the chance to nod and leave.
Right.
If they then ask another question, then I take it like 2 minutes further, and then I give them an ending.
Sure.
And so every few minutes, I'm trying to give somebody an out.
So you're not coming to a question mark, you're coming to a period.
Yes. Bam. Full stop.
And then give them the opportunity to either walk away or have their own question mark to continue the conversation.
Exactly. Right. Now that's super societal. So this is, by the way, a gift from Terry Englert.
Terry Englert, you magnificent bastard.
This is Wisconsin.
Yeah.
This is from Chippewa Falls.
Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
All right. So
just north of Eau Claire.
Let me make sure I pronounce this correctly. Craftsman.
Yeah. So this is a winery that started doing...
Yeah. They'll let me know if it's wrong.
Yeah. This is a winery called Riverbend that started doing distilling.
Right.
And when they came up with their line of spirits, they decided to name their line of spirits Craftsman Artisan Distilling. Because artisan distilling wasn't enough, and craftsman distilling was not enough. So craftsman artisan
is that related?
Finally brought home.
Is that related to lens crafters?
We're giving, to
get the corrective
We're
glasses.
giving them so much shit right now.
Corrective glasses for the cross-eyedness.
Yeah.
Corrective is what they do.
Now I will tell you that they're taking it seriously. They're sourcing grain from around their vineyard. You must be from Wisconsin. And they're sourcing everything. They're doing it all. They're aging it in small barrels. They're doing their own releases. This is a bourbon. They are taking the art seriously.
Now, So we've said this
It
before.
smells really piney and young.
I've said this before. There are certain notes you only get in craft.
Yeah.
And this is one of those. Like on the nose, if you would have poured me this, and if you asked, is it
Craft.
big release or craft? I was like,
Craft,
This is
instantly.
Craft. This is craft. So the pine and this barn hay.
Yeah, it just jumps out of the glass with that.
Sweet musty hay. There's like a honey in there. Musty hay and honey. And then the more I live on the nose, the less musty it is and the more sweet it is.
The taste is really mild.
Whoa.
I was looking for something really,
Wow.
a funky, dramatic.
This may be one of the biggest
Variances.
variances from what you get on those to what you get on the taste.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are not the same whiskey, not even close to the same whiskey between the nose and the flavor profile.
It's almost like a magic trick.
Yeah.
Right? Smell this. All right. Now taste it. Whoa.
Whoa.
How is that the same
When
thing?
did you swap the glassware? Wow, that is. Even going back to the nose, I can't find what I just tasted.
Yeah.
It's like an identity crisis.
It's a 42%, which is relatively low. I mean, I like the taste. It's nice flavors on the taste. But
Yeah, the taste is nice.
Yeah.
The smell is a little bright and shiny and grassy.
So let's move past the smell. Let's get to the taste.
Okay.
A little thin at 42%.
Yeah, and it's a little simple.
But what's there, I'm getting just this perfect little balance of the barrel bitter note to make it not boring.
Yeah.
Right? It's got this little barrel bitter thread with this sweet honey, hay, and walnut.
Yep.
Honey, hay, walnut, and then this
In that order.
tiny thread of barrel bitter on the taste. I like the taste.
Mostly hay, then secondly a little honey, and then finish in a barrel.
Honey, hay bitter is what I said. So whatever.
Walnut.
So we're in the same territory. But forget about the nose. The taste, it's nice.
Taste is nice.
Yeah, and it's a little thin on the proof, but all right.
But I'm returning to makers for our comment. For our final comment. I took the campfire.
There is no final comment.
I took the campfire.
That's all the comments.
In order to take one for the team.
That is no. I have a comment.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I have a comment.
You have an emotional
You
comment?
want to know my comment? So, this is the most delightful surprise today. We're doing the meeting over there at the distillery. He said, "Hey, Eric Waite posted a video."
Oh yeah.
It's like, all right, Eric posts videos pretty often. Cool. All right. It's the title of the video is the Whiskey Vault, Whiskey Tribe. Is it a cult?
Yeah.
Which, so for the longest time, you know, we've had this running joke inside the tribe. It's like the tribe, you know, we have like the cultish robes.
Yeah, are we not? Are we? Yeah.
And we have ceremonies.
We even had shirts at one point where you could choose
no, we still
your
do.
version.
We still
Yeah.
people's like Whiskey Tribe. It says definitely a cult.
Totally
or you
not.
could get a variation that says totally not a cult. So we've been leaning into this for a long time. But apparently people outside the community be like, oh my gosh, well, those guys must be like a cult or something. Which if anybody ever actually asked me that in earnest, I'd immediately think, what are you, f***ing dense?
Yeah, I start laughing.
Right? It's a goddamn whiskey channel.
Yeah.
It's a whiskey community. How is this possibly a cult? So he did this video talking about how Eric started from a place of absolutely not being a fan.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, they're not my vibe, not my scene. I don't
Not
get
my
it.
thing, a little suspect.
I don't get it. I don't like it. They're doing a lot of stuff that I find very, very suspicious and questionable. And to his credit, he didn't walk away with, you know, just some shallow assumptions and call it a day. He dove in, and this was basically a video about his journey of kind of figuring out this stuff. And by the end of this thing, it's like, holy shit. This guy started from a place of like, nope, I don't want anything
I'm
to do
out.
with it. And then by the end of the video, he's like, this is kind of great.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, here's the thing. Eric is a researcher. Like, Eric is one of those guys who, in, 3 or 4 centuries ago,
Right.
would have been wearing monk robes and working in a library.
Right.
And, like, inscribing gold on the original books.
Right.
Like,
So-
he's just one of those, anything he loves, he just analyzes and studies and
Yes.
obsesses with.
So I would link it right up here, but he does at the end of the video review the Crowded Barrel whiskey.
Yeah, so we can't promote that.
So we're not gonna. But if you want to check out the video because you're interested in the community stuff, just look for "Is the Whiskey Vault a Cult?"
Okay, yeah, that'll probably be easier.
And then they'll show up on YouTube, and you can watch the video. And, spoiler alert: yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, it is. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
You steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.